People online are suddenly obsessed with Chuck Mangione, and if you've been seeing his name flood your feed or hearing that familiar smooth horn melody echoing through TikTok or YouTube Shorts, you're not alone. There's a viral wave of curiosity and nostalgia happening right now around this flugelhorn-playing jazz icon, and it's connecting generations in the most unexpected way, creating an emotional and cultural moment that feels both retro and brand new at the same time, all while sparking deep dives into music history, meme lore, and the way pop culture preserves and resurrects legends, especially those with unique sounds that somehow never leave our subconscious. Chuck Mangione isn't just a jazz musician with a funny name or a guy who showed up on King of the Hill for a running joke. He's a serious artist who shaped an entire subgenre of smooth jazz, turned the flugelhorn into a household sound, and composed music that became part of American daily life, from Olympic ceremonies to elevators, shopping centers to sitcoms, school bandrooms to Super Bowl ads, with a warmth and charm that's now being rediscovered by Gen Z and younger millennials in one of the internet's most heartfelt trend cycles yet. His most famous track, Feels So Good, isn't just a relaxing jazz tune, it's become a shorthand for a vibe, a feeling of nostalgic calm that transcends language and genre, and that same track has now re-entered trending playlists not because of a new album drop or concert tour, but because of the way culture reanimates icons, turning old footage and animations into meme gold, reigniting conversation about legacy, and inspiring young creators to explore music that was once considered background noise but is now a cultural touchstone for a time they never lived through but feel deeply drawn to. And if you've ever watched an episode of King of the Hill and wondered why that flugelhorn player kept popping up at the Mega Low Mart, always playing himself and his hit song in the most random scenarios, you've already experienced how Mangione brilliantly leaned into his own meme potential before memes were even a thing, embracing his status as the guy who made jazz smooth, mainstream, and ironically cool all at once. But behind the humor, Chuck Mangione was no joke. He was a Grammy-winning musician, composer, and teacher who studied at and later taught at the Eastman School of Music in Rochester, New York, toured with Art Blakey's Jazz Messengers, collaborated with the likes of Dizzy Gillespie and Maynard Ferguson, and had an ear for melodies that could stick with you for decades. Which is exactly what's happening again now as streaming platforms report a massive surge in listens, downloads, and playlist additions for Mangione's work, especially among users under 30 who are discovering not only Feels So Good but also deeper cuts like Bellavia, Children of Sanchez, and Land of Make Believe, each revealing more of his layered musical style that blended jazz, pop, Latin, and orchestral influences in a way that felt cinematic before that was even a buzzword. What's truly wild is how his music has now become the centerpiece of countless remix videos, lo-fi background edits, nostalgic montages, and even parody skits where people overdub his tracks over modern chaotic scenes just to add a calming twist. These moments aren't just funny, they're preserving his legacy in a new form that Mangione himself probably would have appreciated given his playful on-stage energy and willingness to self-parody in animation. The internet works in strange cycles, and it's amazing how a few viral videos can send millions of people searching for someone they may have only known from a meme or TV reference, but what they're finding in Chuck Mangione is something much deeper. A musical identity that soothes the soul, evokes sunny afternoons and simpler times, and provides an emotional comfort that's rare in today's high-speed content landscape, especially when most of what trends is loud, fast, and forgettable. Mangione's resurgence is the opposite, slow and smooth and lingering like the final note of a horn solo fading into silence. It's also touching to see how many young musicians and school band alumni are sharing their own Mangione stories online, posting clips of themselves playing Feels So Good or Children of Sanchez, talking about how his music was often the first jazz piece they ever learned, and how it taught them to feel the music rather than just read the notes. He wasn't just a performer, he was a bridge between classical training and expressive freedom, which is why he's respected by so many instructors, conductors, and students who now see him as more than just an elevator jazz guy or cartoon cameo. And as his clips keep spreading across TikTok, Reddit, and Instagram, new fan pages are popping up, Spotify is curating retrospective playlists, YouTube's algorithm is pushing documentary-style tributes to the top of recommendations, and even late-night comedians are making nods to his career, showing that this moment isn't just a flash in the pan, it's a full-on cultural reappreciation of an artist who, for decades, quietly enriched the American soundscape without demanding the spotlight, and now, without asking for it, is receiving a flood of love, attention, and gratitude from a world that finally caught up to what made his music so timeless. In fact, one of the most fascinating parts of this renewed interest is how young digital artists are now pairing his music with visuals of nature, cityscapes, and vintage aesthetics, almost like they're building digital mood boards inspired by his tone, proving that even in a hypervisual, overstimulated era, a single horn melody can stop someone mid-scroll and make them feel something real, and when people feel something, they share it. That's what's happening now: shared emotion, nostalgia, humor, curiosity, and a surprising amount of admiration for a musician who never tried to chase fame but became iconic simply by staying true to his craft. So if you felt curious, moved, amused, or just totally soothed by this sudden Chat Mangione moment, you're part of something beautiful, a new chapter in a story that was always worth telling, now being told louder than ever through phones, playlists, memes, and remixes. And if that story has touched you, even just a little, don't forget to hit that like button to keep the love going. Drop a comment sharing your first memory of hearing "Feels So Good" or discovering him through King of the Hill or a viral clip. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more deep dives into the forgotten legends, surprising resurgences, and soulful sounds that shape the internet's most unexpected moments of connection and rediscovery.